Well, the defuse gets brought down by Nexa with a smoke down incendiary and flash for Nico over on the G2 camp. We have the double flash smoke in for OC. The odds at 1xbet do have it being a lot closer than we initially anticipated, but G2 are the favourites in this one. And the Molotov and smoke coming in for JT. Extra salt on the T side. Start into the pistol round we go. 4-man stack from G2 immediately coming in towards the A play.
You can just see Nico incredibly passive out towards the B side, just jiggle peeking out from Coffins, allowing this stack to come in towards this brackets angle. And for Extra Salt, it's been very silent, very careful, and it's going to be a slow walk into Banana.
Carefully creeping, slowly waiting. Hunter's also going to creep forward as well to the brackets. Control is backed up by Amanek, and all with the USPs held back here. Extra Salt looking on for the B play. Nico has the incendiary and the flash. The smokes go down across, and Coffins Hunter with the headshot in on OC. Marky follows suit with a secondary kill from Nico. A 5 versus 3. Bomb plant will be secured. G2 have the man advantage, however, and Sonic's got to change that here with one frag round the corner with a broken ball. Second headshot landed as well, but Nexa finds that trade. So still G2 up by a player. 3v2 for this retake. The Seaside players forcing forward towards cross. They will overwhelm Nico in the end and now leave it all on Nexa and Amanek. One player without Kevlar, but Nexa still strikes with 2 headshots, gets the 3K, gets the defuse for G2.
What a beautiful round in from G2. Just some really good timings on that peek down towards the bottom of Banana. Catch that first player off from OC. And for Extra Salt, they even just get charged in by Nico playing out from the spools. You can see the 5-on-3 advantage in for G2. At least a bit of an advantage being gained back from Sonic to at least give him some breathing room towards that top of Banana position. But Nexa, the last couple of kills to get onto that bomb with the kid. Very, very simple retake indeed.
A simple enough start here for GT to maintain control of Extra Salt. Did make it a little bit difficult in the pistol, but the force by coming in thanks to that investment. The MAC-10's pretty prevalent here for the T side. Only one player that lacks in Kevlar, in head Kevlar though, for Amanek, so only one man that can really be exploited by the Extra Salt setup. The Eagles in on 2 other players, the Galil for Sonic. Defensive setup here by G2 with a boost up towards quad.
Now, Amanek peeking in towards his brackets position could at least establish a bit of a crossfire set by his 2 teammates out from that porch angle. But for Extra Salt, smoke going in, they're going to commit in towards brackets now.
D and Sonic do get a couple of good trades back here, struggling against Amanek. However, he gets the kill back and loses very little HP for it, actually. The spray from Sonic was not quite that great. Marky with the Deagle. Notice that bomb's been dropped out towards short control. The C2 set up the crossfire. Nico could peek in from library as the smoke clears up. So Marky's really got no way back into this. Maybe if he could isolate the individual aggressor from Nexa. In a fight against Amanek. Khalil picked up. No, dealt with by 2 dinks on the M4 and 2-0 for G2.
Nicely done. We could see Extra Salt putting a fair bit of utility in towards that bracket stake, even getting a bit of a dive out from Palace, but just the crossfire being set, even the flashes coming over, don't really blind Jax off that much in towards that top of porch. And from there, Amanek just works together on the crossfire. And for Extra Salt, that force by coming in didn't really find a lot of success. Only a couple of kills being found.
Yeah, 2 out of the start. Pistols involved for Extra Salt. Basics on the Kevlar limited amount of utility, so should be easy enough for them to rip them all apart. Maybe Nexus SMG can get some money going here for the G2 camp. That might be their main focus at the moment.
And Nexa pushing right up towards the end of Banana, and for him, just looking to try and farm up as much money as possible. HE towards the apartments does get evaded by the T side.
So no damage being done early, despite the great nade placement. P250 is clearing closer. Jax with a swing out of the Galil. Overwhelmed with the numbers game, and the picks comes in for Sonic. Hunter ducked behind the boxes. Does get dinked out of his own right, but Amanek and Nico with their trade responses. Back to a 3v3 thanks to Fang's kill. The bomb plant is secured.
Nico's got to wait for a little bit more assistance. Flash coming in. They want to keep taking the fights. The MP9 gets away with 1, and now players falling.
Still a Galil to play with for Fang. JT's the Eagle's going to back up to the corner. But not quite good enough, and JT can't find anything either, so G2 will take 3 good rounds. Extra Salt could have gotten close to damage. If they got Nexus, that definitely would have been an expensive one for G2, and Extra Salt could have been happy with that eco. But I guess the bomb plant is also a bit of happiness there for them. Muddy's bolstered going into the gun round.
Jax will be so frustrated with that one. He gets flashed straight in towards the apartment's position, and the majority of players are blinded, but he still dies towards one of those CZs. Fang's able to swing quite wide onto the side, get a couple of kills, but it just came down to this challenge towards a short position. Nico had to win that fight, and from there, they could just work together, all peek on each other's angles, and for Extra Salt, they've kept some of these rounds competitive, Jay, but they're yet to start on T side.
Yeah, the AK is in for Extra Salt, the M4's the AWP, the nades up and down, and Amanek is going to have to get out of dodge. Flashes in, nades up. Oh, nicely landing to JT and Fang. Well placed there by G2.
And there wasn't even a really massive amount of information being used by Extra Salt. They didn't molly up towards top of car. They didn't use a lot of flashes over the top of the broken wall, but the nade is just timed perfectly, and even the incendiary stops them from gaining any further control.
The nades on Sonic, tagged to 10 so heavily here. Smokes inbound with incendiaries up. And Extra Salt press into the mid position, out towards the apartment's control. Minute to the clock, and Amanek is waiting here at the long position. When is he going to receive him? Right about now, it seems. Shot towards JT. Frag found easy. Heavy tags as well against the rest of the T-side forces, and Amanek looks for a gap and a smoke. Can't hit his shot, a little bit flustered towards it, but does find Fang anyway. Second kill for him. Can't make it a triple. Overcooks the flick on OC, so OC can take one pick, but now needs to find two more on the site. He gets Jax here. AWP recovered, but Hunter gets his frag back. Turned away from Sonic. You get one good trade, but the M4 and Nico gets him and Marky. G2 find 4.
Extra Salt have got to be able to find a way that they're not just getting hit massively by those nades in the early round, because that chip damage just helps in so much. We can see for G2, they position the AWP quite aggressively towards that long position, get that shot off, just start falling back, and just Nico and Nex are working together really nicely up on that long position. You can see Hunter up on screen. Got to be very chuffed about the 4-0 start in.
Very, very happy indeed. Roll out here with the AKs coming in, the smoke's going down, and Molotov's trying to suppress Extra Salt. Incendiary's trying to force Fang forward here. We will find that one little gap between the two Incendiaries and evade damage for it. Nades back, again well placed here from G2. Two players using their nades to try and get those two tags in. JT and Fang are low to start.
Pressing up towards that top banana position. This has been a little bit of a struggle from them so far, just with the retaking nades coming in. Bit of a lurk smoke out, and Marky even catches a player off with the lurk out for the apartments.
A fantastic shot on alongside OC's flashbang here for the set-piece execution for Extra Salt, but the smoke down towards Cross, not to Coffins. OC's going to save that for later in the post-plant. Nexa and Nico held to the backlines. Nico's been spotted. Wallbang still faces out to get one good kill. Flashbang in support of Amanek allows Nico to get the trades in. 3-on-3 scenario. Molotov will drive him back over towards the new box. Still finds Sonic. Still looks for OC, but not to be. AWP can't hit his shot either. So, actually, OC's trades are pretty good here. Should grab that bomb, get the plant in. Jax up the clutch.
Now, coming in quickly from the banana position. Now, he does have a kit and a smoke whiff, but does anyone realize how quickly he can come out from this banana position?
Slow walking into the angle. Slow and facing into banana. The smoke goes down over at the CT cross. Jack starts looking, gets that one shot on OC. That's a hell of a drive-by. Can he find Marky next up? He'll look back. No util that can force him out of smoke on towards the bomb. Perhaps Jonathan the Ninja sees that shoulder peek in. Leans forward, sees his man, continues to burst fire. Get the kill in the end. Jax, what a clutch that was. And what a round it will be for G2.
Bro, what was that? What a clutch coming in for Jax. The swing onto the AWP. OC is holding the angle out from dark towards the banana position. And you're looking at that one thinking there is no way Jax is going to win that fight. And G2 bring one out of the bag.
5-0. This is looking great right now for G2. And unfortunately, you can't say the same for Extra Salt. Things are looking a little bit dicey now. The underdogs are getting overwhelmed pretty heavily and effectively here in this one. Incendiary's inbound. The AK are Sonic going to try and see if they can make their way forward. Jax gets the kill in with the nade, supported by the M4. Flashbang assist from JT, but Jax gets 2 kills on Marky, completely unassisted by any utility at all.
And now they can just zone their attention back in towards this brackets take. 4 players now over towards the A side. And for Extra Soul, all they've got is the utility on for OC just to try and get some more frags, some more entries, and even that's not a possibility.
Shot back of Amanek, gets Fang next OC now left in a 1 versus 5, and while he's been great at opening up the sights here, this will be a clutch that's probably impossible for him. 33 HP. Amanek already ready on the cross. Good shot in from the AWP player of G2. They are looking real locked on here. They mentioned before how they were looking to win this event. We talked to Nexa, of course, prior to the event. And while it's definitely not exactly a big opponent to defeat here, right now it's still a flawless scoreline so far here against Extra Salt that they're just struggling to deal with. Tactical pause has got to come through from the North Americans.
Yeah, Amanek is playing with a lot of freedom right now. A lot of movement coming through around the A site. And you've only got to imagine that for Extra Soul, things are quite rough right now. Take that tactical pause, take that little bit of a breather just to mentally reset and try and get back to this game. Just opening man advantages is something that they've been really struggling to be able to maintain. And just be able to at least try and get a bit of economy going for them, Jay, because they haven't consistently got a lot of bomb plants on this T side.
You need to get something going soon here, else they will suffer to a very one-sided scoreline. And then again, I look at the situation. I can imagine it still being one-sided there for the G2 camp. Wouldn't be shocking if it was the case, but Extra Soul is looking to hold some dignity in this one. AWP's out, AKs, M4s in, PT50s and Tech-9s. The ES side. Nades on, smokes up. We'll try and suppress here towards the apartments. Marquee is not allowed to take face as of right now. Extra Soul playing up towards the A site.
And whether it be a gun round or a half buy, we're just seeing banana takes coming in really easily for G2 right now. Nades coming out towards brackets. Hunter looking to face.
Amanek and Fang going back and forth. Hunter also gets dealt with by the Tech-9. So 3-on-3 is the off. Amanek caught off here towards the short control. Still lands 2 frags. Can't quite make it a third. But then that allows Nico a chance to swing back, find the gap in the smoke, find the head of the man. Decent damage being done by Extra Salt, but it won't have much impact for G2 in the short term.
Amanek looks really impressive right now. He's just being so consistent, hitting the easy shots, even hitting some of the harder flicks. And you've got to give some credit going down towards Fang to at least keep that round expensive. 3 kills overall with the pistol, just to be able to try and open up that brackets take. But rotates just come in so quickly. Nico gets up to the graveyard position and keeps the streak alive. 7 on the trot now for the international squad.
And Extra Salt tanking damage again. Perfect nade placement. Fang the 27. JT and OC lesser so, but still getting tagged regardless by by G2's utility. Been simple enough here for the CT side.
And just any time they go banana in early rounds, they are just getting hit so hard by those nades. And Fang hasn't even had a chance to be able to take a contact, to take some sort of duel up from the top of banana, and he's already on 27 points of health. And now the CTs are slow walking aggressively into brackets.
Yeah, Hunter with the M4, seeing the smoke coming out, knows that there's players in the boiler position. Flashes are coming over and they are suppressing here. Jax falling out of the way as 2 CTs make their way from the B side back into A. So they're going for the stack up here.
No, not really much B presence being shown at all. Fang just trying to see if he can gather some sort of information, but the CT side, they've got the better read in this scenario.
Smoke's inbound towards Moto. Jack's going to regress here at the short control. We could line up 3 players. Sonic's got utility in his hands. Perfect shot in. Amanek actually takes the kill back instead. Jax, OC, Nico going back and forth, but in the end, it's all for G2's favor. OC tagged up, taken down by Amanek with his 2K. Marquee out of the apartments, dealt with by Hunter. 8-0. This is looking like a simple...
This is worrying. The Extra Soul aren't even really keeping it competitive right now. They are just facing against competition that you'd have to say they probably haven't faced in a while. 4th best team in the world right now for G2, and they are proving it right here. And just even how quickly Nico is able to assist Amanek. He gets flashed off angle. You can see the AWP struggling a little bit, and Nico's like, hey, mate, I'm here. I'm here to support.
Second tactical here for Extra Salt, and the right moment to do so. Because they are yet to win a round. Even though they've been getting closer and closer, ES have not been able to win out one so far, and That's also been marred by the fact they've only got 3 bomb plants over the course of the last 8 rounds, so they're being pushed further and further away, especially in the last 3 rounds where G2 have just been ripping them apart. It's felt so easy here for the CT forces, and yes, a couple of those were eco bases, but even the guns coming out can't do much here for ES, and this was the big fear that I had for this team coming into this game.
It's almost what we did see at some sort of level in that first best of one between Gambit and Sprout, is just a lot of competitiveness being shown by the upper-handed team. And for G2, they're just cruising right now. And what I do like is they're not being too cocky about the scenario either at 8-2 or 8-0. Like, they're not getting over-aggressive. They're not really taking some of these super hybrid, in-their-face sort of fights. Instead, they're just playing really much structured CS. They're playing off one another, and they're just looking on point. Oh, the nades again.
So much damage. Fang found, fragged out by Nico. Entry again found towards the G2 camp. Extra Salt trying to lean up into the banana angle for the set piece. Again, smokes down towards Coffins and Cross. Gonna have to go for this entry. Gonna have to go for this execution. Extra Salt. Need to get the bomb down and the round itself. I mean, maybe again with the Deagles, it might be a little bit less of a possibility, but just walking into the site, picked apart again by the rifles. Amanek gets involved with the AWP. One good Deagle shot for OC, but other than that, Extra Salt holding no contest here.
Nexon just not even peeking. Know that he's low HP out towards Nubox. Doesn't really need to take the fight. The HE even going out to the pool area. Gets another round in for G2. Extra Salt was only on an eco in that last run, so they've got the opportunity of getting the buy up, get OC onto the AWP, get AKs all around. And for Extra Salt, you've got to remember, Jay, they were in Europe. They went back to NA to play the RMR. They've come back into Europe, and this is such a hit in the face of how European CS is.
Yeah, again, their European campaign has not exactly been the most amazing here for ES, but again, I look at that FunSpark result, and I think that they do have potential to do some damage here, and, well, right now they're showing none of that here. G2, I realize they are a bigger caliber opponent than anybody in FunSpark, but even then, they took a close grand final against Big, so it's a bit disappointing here to see Extra Salt kind of lose out like this, but it is what it is. Rifles back in at the moment, seeing if they can get one good round here. Still undefeated thus far for G2 on CT side.
I might want to try and retake this top banana control. Flash comes in over the top a little bit early for the City side, but they can still set themselves up.
Molotov's on, nades out. Nico. Flashed in. Gonna get taken back by Fang, so a bit more of an aggressive face that G2 didn't need. The nades counter-smoke down to the CT side, and the bomb and the rest of the T-side forces rotate the brackets.
I just leave Fang to be a bit of a late lurk towards the top of Banana, but start charging into A. There's a bit of a rotate coming back in, though, from CT of Amanek.
The man here, AWP, gonna get smoked back, however. Jax and Hunter got to hold down the site itself. M4's in, Amanek sneaks forward to Deagle! Okay, Sonic can just counteract that, but that could have been a lineup tap through. The Deagle could have found so much there. Marky and Sonic do find the kills on the players on the site, and finally, Extra Salt are going to gain a round here.
Nicely done. Just being able to beat the rotations, right? We could see, by the way, they were able to strike with that opening pick and do sort of damage up towards that top of Banana position. Amanek kind of gets forced on rotate, actually has to push through that library smoke, only getting that one-on-one trade. And even for Marky, just the jiggle peek that came out for the apartments gave that early info of at least one of the anchors out to the side. Crossfires get set on the...
At long last here, G2 back up on the buy have with their confidence, of course, enabling the investment to look confident. The AWPs in, M4s are standard here for G2's part of the AUG. For Hunter's going to be a slightly better automatic weapon that they have. And he's going to play very close towards his long position. Will he swing out to brackets and try and look for Extra Salt?
At least this time around, Fang just making a better presence towards Banana, but hasn't been tagged up by any of those HEs. Amanek with the peek in, gets legged up in the process.
21 points of health to AUG, looks for 2. Jax gets one back on Sonic to a 4 versus 4, and their E-Smoke goes down to stop him here from making their way up from short. Right now, it's just the passive positions held. CT players trying to find the defensive. 2 players on this split. 2 more can make their way up from brackets, and they do find Jax, but Amanek there with his responsive trade.
He needs a bit of help though. He could just get overwhelmed on the side, drop that bomb out. Then Partners follows up with another op kill. Now OC's the last one left to try and bring back a 1 versus 3. Could deal with Amanek out towards the side. The USP coming in to try and find his 20th kill. Doesn't quite happen. OC can't find any more than that. What a hold from Amanek on the side to give them a fighting chance. Waste so much time. Allow the rotations to come in.
Just when you thought Extra Salt might have finally found another, but no. All down to that AWP and all the effort put in for him. And that's going to hurt for Extra Salt, given how much they have to play for. But not to be in this one. 10 to the board of G2. M4's the AWP, the AK's back out again. Another reinvestment from Extra Salt because they can't afford it, but they need to follow it up because they won't be able to afford it in the next round here.
Jax, nade coming in. How much damage can that do? Oh, right onto the feet of Fang and Marky.
Sprays through, and I think the wall bangs in for Extra Salt, hoping that there's players out on the boost ups here towards top of quad. Flash out, and Jax completely evaded anybody in the apartments. Allows Fang a pretty simple kill as his back's turned. The flashbang perfectly timed with 3 versus 3, however, the trades are good for G2. The setup for the retake now.
Not really many nades on the retake either. A couple of flashes for them to work with. Seems like they want to try and come in from this mid position rather than out from long.
Marky and Sonic held back. Fang on the site. Flash over from Nico. Trying to force forward the AK picked up. 2 AKs for them to work with here on the retake. So Nico and Nexa going to have to be the main stars, the main fraggers here. Time is running short. Taking a lot of time to get set up for this one. Smokes back here to try and counteract the incendiary. Fangs close to the site. Nico wins the duel. Now got to get towards the bomb itself. Sonic gets one good trade back, and they're going to try and stick the whole defuse. Nico's going to hold off against the Marky. Sprays back, catches Nico. Not Nexa. Nexa's still on the bomb, and he finds it a hair too early, and Marky just can't get the trade.
Really well played there from G2 on the retake. They pick up so many nades from fallen teammates or even fallen T-side players. And from there, they get a molly out towards pit. They put a smoke down for a bit of cover. And Nico is just the distraction, really. Being able to get a couple of kills, just being able to pull time away. And Nexa just gets onto the bomb. Nothing Marky could do from the pit angle. Tactical timeout from G2 out of all teams.
I mean, to be fair, they have faced the most amount of resistance in the last couple of rounds here, so making a lot of sense that Extra Salt would try and force G2 to make some adjustments, so make those adjustments here to see how they can do. 11-1 up still for the G2 camp, however. The rebuy should be coming in for the CT side.
Yeah, get those upgrades forward. But yeah, you do make a good point. Some of these last couple of rounds have been close. They've been into a bit of a position too, where even going into round 13, you have a look at the money in the reserve for the CT side at least, and it is very limited. We could say the same for Extra Salt, but look at the scoreline, they're down 1-11. So for G2, just being able to get a couple more convincing rounds behind them, be able to sort of strengthen this economy going late into the first half now.
Extra utility on the Molotovs here, set up for the Extra Salt default. G2 held back on the B site. Got to be careful about their face here because got limited utility sets and flashes inbound. Amanek's going to peek forward, dry, caught off by the T-side flashbang, counter flash, and Nexa allows the kill to come in against Fang. Nico opens up, JT's close as well. No further flashing, he's got to win the fight completely dry and transfers to 3. Marky, now just Marky, stands alone.
1 versus 5, and what a hold towards the top of Banana coming in from Nico. Just a spray transfer to find the 2nd and 3rd kill, even looking for a little bit more. We've seen some unbelievable moments coming out from the individuals. And for Marky, he gets 1 kill up towards long, but that might be all that he finds.
I'll be surprised if he finds any more. Maybe get Nico, maybe get Amanek as being the tagged up players here, but even then Nico's been stellar so far, and the wallbang shot of the AWP connecting through the broken wall. Doesn't find the kill against Marky, but it tagged him, and Marky knows that his chances have gotten even slimmer.
Time's running low, more wallbang shots just trying to come through. Marky just trying to see if he can just do any terms of follow-up damage. One more kill to his name could just be something, but not to be. Nico finding a 4K overall. G2 up to 12. Won that successful round, and then the last couple, they kept it close, and then that was just a whitewash in the last.
Yeah, Nico, that transfer of the spray, beautifully done there from him. Ultimately, a beautiful round for G2. 12-1 now up for the CT forces. Extra Salt. Fully fledged, fragged out and out of position and out of opportunities here. The AK's in, the back 10, the Galil out. Next is now the man over at Sandbags. Nico's there to back him up. Still lines up 2 more kills. And ES are just throwing themselves at these defaults, hoping they can find some sort of pick back, hoping they can find some sort of way into this, but it's just not happening. 5 versus 3. All the kills going the way of the CTs.
Just so much control up towards top of Banana, even more now Nexa with the AK. And it's been so many of these AK kills coming in for the CT side, knowing that they were able to recover for the last round. And for Extra Salt, they've just been driven away from Banana to now at least make some sort of play in from mid.
2 players on the crossfire here towards the pit and balcony angles. Extra Salt starting to lean up here, starting to move closer, find the fight, and the spray goes a little bit awry there for Jax, but doesn't quite go that well for Marky either. No kills found still for Extra Salt, 40 seconds to the clock, and Hunter knows what's going on. That flashbang, a bit awkward there from Jax, but still Hunter gets the kill back in, drops in for JT's part. See this man. 1 fight 1, 2 fights 1. Okay, hold on. Bomb plant. Might bolster the buy for round 15.
Get the extra little bit of money forward. Actually fakes it out. Tries to draw Amanek into the open.
JT was mentioning in the interview how tough these opposition players are and trying to be baiting a mistake from them, but not to be against G2. Amanek with the kill. CT side with the 13th. Extra Salt. Still with 1. Going into the last round of the half, it could be a 14-1 differential, and well, that wouldn't surprise me given how well this series and this map has gone here for G2.
Everything just looks so strong. You could just see the flash over towards the top of Banana, like Nico and Nexa, this duo towards this Banana position, and the anchors on B have just been so damn successful. And you just look at some of the kill counts, like Nico on 21 kills, Amanek on 21, and we haven't even finished the first half. We're seeing some lights out performances from G2 right now.
We are. We really are. Nades inbound, tag up damage coming in at JT and Fang. Again, these HEs play so wonderfully. You see how close those blue X-ray lines were getting there on the nade trajectories. And Jack gets a high HP player of Marky to start off this round. Extra Salt is forced to fall right back out. G2 will reposition. Right now, the default's just set in for the T side. Where can they play from here?
Well, the problem is, no matter where they're playing from, they're getting contacted. Like, you could just see the way that the early nades come out towards the B site into Banana, and then they think, okay, there's going to be a bit of approach in which we can go up from the apartments, and then Jax is just there ready for them. They get a 5-on-3, they fall back quite passive. The one positive that Extra Salt have is it's a little bit more of a gamble stack on B. There's only 2 anchors on A right now.
Smokes inbound from JT, flashbang coming forward as well. Nice nade on his position. Oh, doesn't quite land the kill. If he was a little bit further forward, if he didn't anticipate that nade, that would have been enough. Take a 5 versus 3. Flash is coming in here with the smokes down. They're going to go for the exit off the back of this. And Jax does get caught off with a flashbang of OC. Still Hunter on site, however. Looks for Fang, looks for JT. Could line them both up, and that's exactly what he does. Continues to spray the new damage towards Sonic. OC caught above the smoke. 3 kills for Hunter in this round. With Sonic here with the impossible clutch once again. We'll go for that bomb plant. Boost up for one of the AKs. I think he just caught where Sonic was. Sonic still gets the pick, though. 2 kills. Nexa captures him, however. And G2 will be able to get the defuse together. 14-1 of the half. G2 looking absolutely stellar. Extra Salt not holding a chance here in our best of 1 at Inferno. Well, G2 still looking primed and ready to eliminate Extra Salt from the upper bracket. Not quite from the entire matchup itself, but this has been such a wonderful, wonderful map from them. A simple 14-1 at the CT side. Now going into T-half here, Extra Salt have got to come up with something absolutely monstrous here. I don't know what it will take, but I don't think Extra Salt will have it.
Oh, I'm with you there. They tried everything. We saw a little bit more of aggression. We saw the passiveness. We saw the fakes coming out, but it just seemed that the reads were there and the players were there. Nico and Amanek put up such a fight in that first half. And for Extra Soul, it's almost a bit of a shame, Jay, because we expect to see so much more from this team, but they just haven't been able to show it in this best of one.
Yeah, and again, it's a bit more of a difficult affair because G2 are a team of a caliber that they've never really taken on before. So looking into this matchup and looking towards this this result, I mean, Extra Salt can't be too miffed that they've been absolutely swamped in the server. But like you mentioned, like I guess seeing the FunSpark results, seeing the tournaments and the players that they've been taking on as of late, you would have hoped that they would have held some level of contention, but scoreline's one-sided, the odds are one-sided, everything's one-sided for G2 right now. Double flash of smoke for Sonic on the pistol setup. JT has the diffused smoke. Utility inbound for Hunter and Nexa. Next drop the P2 to Nico. Playing raid boss here is G2. Set up the passive default.
For Extra Salt, they're so desperate for a round and so desperate for a pistol round victory just to be able to start their campaign on CT on the right foot, start at least being able to build some sort of comeback forward. And for G2, it's incredibly passive. Not a lot of early map control being gained. Now slowly starting to wiggle their way into this banana contact.
Slow but sure here for G2. Hold that confidence and hold this map up, this round together. Resting with the utility basis now. Glocks just face slowly. Whenever they want to attack is when they'll go for it.
And they've got a flash ready to get over the half wall or at least get themselves into the B site. And for JT, he could be under a lot of pressure, Jay. He's the only player at B. At least he's got a smoke and a kit to work with.
I think I'm thinking about potentially on a rotation here. What is the call? Oh, we've seen Marky. Heard the footstep. OC not peeking. They actually catch Fang. Marky gets dealt with. He finds Nico to return back and remove the raid boss, but they've drawn the attention back towards the A site. One player back at Coffins, forced away and smoked away. G2 will get the bomb plant.
JT's just got to wait for his teammates. Nothing he can really do. Good utility coming down to the B site, and you've got to imagine now for Extra Salt,
Smokes up. PT50 closing in, seeing where Amanek is. Amanek gets the kill, continuing to tap forward. Nexa swings out, gets one headshot, not quite able to get the second. Jax has been dealt with. Sonic caught on the reload, and Nexa gets his 2K. JT all that remains, overwhelmed by the T-side forces. Nexa with 3 frags, G2 with map point.
Up to 15, Extra Salt looked like they had the right read, at least on what they wanted to do in that retake. They fall back in the 4v4, they put a top banana smoke down, they get flashes in over the top, but then G2 just start taking all these fights. And like next round towards CT is just not letting them get comfortable at all. And JT's got to check so many angles at the same time, 15-1. I just can't believe how one-sided this map has been and this best of one has been.
Yeah, this has been just ripping apart. And again, there is always the idea that it probably should have been this way to a certain extent. But you just had that little bit of hope that Extra Salt would at least hold some level of confidence. But that's not happened here. 15-1, 14 map points for G2. Extra Salt have the Eagle Force bite. But lack ahead, Kevlar only on one player. And the Mac 10s could have some struggles here for G2, but I imagine with the way that their sprays have been going, it shouldn't be too much of a worry.
You probably need a little bit more of a risk in a round like this from Extra Salt, whether it be a little bit more gambly in terms of the rotations or maybe a little bit more aggressive just to try and win out some early fights. They've got at least a little bit of utility to back them up, so if this default does continue to run low, the smokes that they've got in hand could be something, but they're already utilizing some of them and rotating a third player back over to B.
Slow Walker G2 up towards brackets control, looking to wrap around towards the short control. They've got Fang and Marky as the defenders here. 3 players over to the B site. Extra Salt to hold off some decent headshots. If either player gets overwhelmed, hell, I mean, just one individual to fall down would be very easy for GT to maintain control of. Smokes up towards Long, Library, and Arch. Marky's got to look back there, caught with his back turns. And there come those 2 kills. There goes the round here for Extra Salt. G2 are going to take this map, unless these Deagles find something special.
Need a miracle, don't they? I mean, even so slow to the rotations. You've got 1 player out from Library, but another couple of players that are still coming from Banana.
Sonic waiting back in the wings over towards the Library position. Teammates coming up towards brackets. Nico going to watch with the Galil. Burst through, 2 kills for Nico and Amanek. OC overwhelmed by Nexo. All 5 alive, 16-1. Near flawless for G2. What a perfect map that was to kickstart themselves in IEM Summer.